Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Office Bloke Aidan.
Okay, just the two of us, Aidan.
Yes.
Yeah, doing a bit of English accents. You won't understand.
Oh, I bet I will.
Is there any accents? People who speak English, a lot of countries around the world speak English as their first language. America.
Yeah, but that's not
Canada.
But that's not an English accent.
It's you'd say it's an English. It's English language.
It's an English language. It's
with an American accent.
So
but you wouldn't say someone in Newcastle has an English accent. You say it's a Geordie accent.
No, but it's also
or
English.
A Scouse accent.
Yeah, but
speaking English with an accent.
That's people outside of England would say it's an English accent, but people in England will say it's whatever city it's from. I bet when you hear an American accent, you say it's an American accent. You don't say it's.
I think this could be around the world.
You could say Southern. I think it's just going to be England. I don't know.
Let's see, shall we? 11 difficult English accents you won't understand.
You may be a native English speaker, but this does not mean you understand English. Told you, I found
Funny
11
film,
mighty confusing...
I recognise that character though.
Shaun the Sheep.
Shaun
of the Dead, sorry.
I was going to say Shaun the Sheep was like a kid's show, wasn't it?
Shaun of the Dead.
English dialects to test your skills. First, try to guess the country, then guess the dialect. And if you get it right, you can brag in the comments, but you probably won't.
I'm good on accents.
We're going to nationalise them, that'll be the end of all the work. There'll be no good shepherds left either.
It's not the young men that do that, girls.
Yeah. They want to get them a decent living to get out there.
If you know what a butterloggy is,
yeah.
well, then you might know this dialect. It has the same roots as Scots, and they were once part of the same kingdom. So while most English accents were influenced by the Saxons, this English was shaped by the Angles. Now, I'm talking about Northumbrian English. The Angles lived mostly in present-day Denmark, and the first time the Vikings invaded England, well, it was right here. So are there some shared Scandinavian words? Well, these words here are old.
I was just going to say, the reason I thought Scotland first, and then I thought, hang on, it might be more southern, because I heard the word bairn at the end.
Is that how they say child?
Gainer's grandma, your great-grandma, was from Hartlepool, which is in the northeast. Yeah. And she used to say, oh, look at the bairns. When they used to come, when we used to take you around, the bairns. And she used to refer to you as the bairns.
I've never heard that before.
Old Norse, so you tell me. Northumbrian has a few varieties.
I think the shop one is in the business one is what you do well, but there's more park. There's less parking spots, there's more people having to park.
And even if you have no idea what he just said, you might know about a more famous version. Geordie. Geordie has its own special character.
And Corbier Creoles, this must be Northumberland like this.
Even in the 1500s, the London elite thought that this was the strangest accent. And what is a butterloggy? Well, it comes from a Viking word, and it means a butterfly.
And what about if you're calling someone, they say you're telling someone, come over here.
Hey, bring your ass here, boy.
No,
Come here, boy.
Come now.
Yeah, come on here, come.
Now, if you know this one straight away, then I will be impressed. I will, but
I'm looking at how they look to try and judge
That's what I was thinking, but
where it could be from. They look Sri Lankan, but I don't think
they don't speak English over there.
Could be Southern English, Southern India, like Kerala.
They speak English there.
They all speak English, don't they?
Now, if you know this one straight away, then I will be impressed. I will, but I think you need a bit more.
We're going to do a one-night camp somewhere up Madamas or Blanchishes. We're not sure yet. We're going to check the sea state conditions.
Mate,
it's Caribbean.
It was Jamaican.
It's Caribbean, isn't it?
You said on the first thing I was going to say Jamaican, but they didn't look Jamaican at all.
Yeah, but I'm thinking not Jamaican.
When he was like, come here now. That's when I thought it was
like Grenada.
Jamaican.
Maybe Grenada.
Come here now.
Grenada. I'm going for.
Yeah, I'm just going to say Jamaican.
Caribbean.
We get up there, we're going to see what beaches look the best.
Take me on the rocks. Gonna see if I cast. Look at them beating up on the inside. Woo.
The indigenous Arawak people called it the land of the hummingbird, and this lovely English dialect is known for its sing-song sound. Many pirates came ashore to bank their booty over the years, including a certain Englishman who came looking for the mysterious El Dorado, the city of gold. It's been in Spanish, French, and British hands, and they say that by 1814, this island changed hands 31 times. That's right, I am talking about Trinidad. one with a twin. The island is extremely diverse. African slaves were brought here from other colonies. Immigrant workers were French, German, Chinese, Portuguese, African American, even Venezuelan. And then huge numbers also arrived from India. The first Creole language in Trinidad was actually French, but within a few generations, they were all speaking English Creole.
For this video, I'm going to try to do it a little straight Trini. I think you want me to do it a little straight Trini or 100%.
I've got a mate called Glenn who's from Grenada, and he speaks just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does sound pretty similar, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
To like Jamaican as well.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Trini, like if I'm talking to my mother kind of Trini, or my brother kind of Trini, do you have an accent?
Don't get me wrong, someone from Jamaica would tell me that it sounds completely different though, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Question this, do you have an accent? I have an accent. Everybody have an accent. What kind of stupid question is that? Yes, everyone has an accent.
Nowadays, they speak both Creole and standard Trinidadian English, and it's been the official language since 1823.
To the left, everything you own in a box to the left. In the closet, that's my stuff. Yes, if I bought it, don't touch.
Don't touch. Keep yelling that, miss, that's fine. Could you walk and talk at the same time, man? There is my name that is on that match, so remove your bag so I can call you again.
Now, unless you've been to this country...
What the fuck was that? That wasn't even good singing, mate.
The one towards the end sounded a little bit, I don't know.
I was going to say like Nigerian, because they speak English there.
Yeah, I don't... What sort of... I mean, I've been to India, they all speak English in India. But I know they speak other languages as well. Yeah. But she had like a little bit of an Indian twang, the one when she was singing.
Yeah, I did hear that.
There is no way you're going to guess this one, but please give it a try. Listen for the clue hidden.
In matric, I got an A for bloody English. Okay, I got a C, but still. When I went to America, no one bloody understood me. I'm here on Table Mountain.
South Africa, Table Mountain, Cape Town.
Mate, yeah,
South Africa.
But the first people didn't sound South African at
all.
all.
Not at all.
South Africa has many different English accents, but
like
none are as divergent as that of the Cape-coloured community, especially from an area known as the
no, I'm just going to sound Russian now.
Flat. Matter of fact, even South Africans have a hard time following Cape Flat English if they didn't grow up in Cape Town, and sometimes even if they did.
What? What's the name of the movie? Trainkies. Trainkies. No, Trainkies. Trainkies. What's the name? Trainkies. No, I told you Trainkies. Trainkies. Tell me again. I told you, take a kiss.
It's an incredibly colourful way of speaking, heavily influenced by Afrikaans, specifically Cape Flat Afrikaans. This dialect has roots in the 19th century working class residential areas in inner city Cape Town. One interesting feature is the double negative, as in I didn't see nothing. That's straight out of Afrikaans. As for this video, well, it's straight out of story learning, and if you like it and want to know more, please let me know. You know what to do.
Yeah, Dad and all of, well, Dad and them was raised here around here, and we was up the road there a little ways where Dad went in when he got married. We was all raised up there, but this is Grandma's and Dad's old house place. We own by the water gap.
I can get words out, but I can't make out what the sentence is. It's southern, right?
Yeah, it's southern USA, I'd say, like, or even maybe Appalachia.
Yeah, that's
what you call
still
it.
pretty much southern, that country. You know what I mean?
It's getting about this time late in the evening, getting dark.
Wouldn't you just love to hear that whole story? I have a feeling that even if you couldn't quite get him, you'll recognise his accent. And if you fancy a sort of Scottish-Irish flavoured Elizabethan English, well, better move down to the Smoky Mountains. Appalachian English is full of wonderful vintage sayings, but the best part is certain words and phrases still have the same meanings that they did hundreds of years ago. For example,
West
I don't
Virginia,
care to really means, sure, I'd be happy to. And you know what? It was once the high-ranking nobles of England and Scotland who spoke this way.
I heard a big clap of thunder, and then it commenced to raining. I've been working on this, and I'm having a little bit of a trouble, and as you can see, it's still side-goggling.
The mountains of Appalachia were once a haven for mostly Scots-Irish immigrants who wanted to escape colonial rule in America. And down here, they were pretty isolated from mainstream American life for many generations, so they kept those old speech forms. There were...
Just gonna say, I love videos like this.
Yeah, I like that accent as well, by the way.
It's a cool accent, isn't it? Yeah. Especially the old boy when he was talking.
Yeah, I know,
so you could listen to that all day, couldn't you? Telling stories about when he was, when he was younger and doing different things.
I mean, I wouldn't understand him, but
it doesn't matter, does it?
Native American and Africans here too, and they all blended together. to become something quite unique. They say weird things like this, all the way from medieval Ireland, and something all the way from Storyland is, well, this video, of course. So if you like what you see, please click these 3 buttons right here. Much obliged.
Don't so cast one. Uncle going very fast already, you know. I'm going faster and Scarlet government catch me, huh? Government very vigilant and always watching.
Welcome to a very multicultural part of the world.
That was Chinese.
It sounded to me like that could be Jamaican.
What?
Go back and listen again.
You know, I'm going faster and Scarlet government catch me, huh? Government very vigilant and always watching.
Welcome to a...
Nah, that's not Jamaican. If it's Jamaican, it'd be like, come here, white boy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it sounds. That sounded like almost Chinese to me, though. Is there like a part of China that speak English?
There's some Southeast Asia places like Singapore, but that didn't sound like Singaporean. You know, you'd have places like that.
It's hard, this, isn't it, to try and guess? It's proper hard.
Very multicultural part of the world. It's been this way for hundreds of years, and in our great-grandparents' time, people who lived here were still saying things like thee and thou art. It's a country with numerous languages, and in village life back in the day, this was a problem. See, people made a living buying and selling, and it's hard to buy and sell when you can't understand each other. The dialect I'm talking about is Singaporean English.
It's quite, like, sharp, like, like instead of like very like
It depends on like how they speak, because sometimes you can tell if it's natural or it's those exaggerated types. Let's say halfway like in their teenage years they decide like, okay lah, I want to speak with Angmo accent, and then
You probably understand the standard version, but the informal version, Singlish, has been a phenomenon since the 1970s. It has its own unique grammatical structure, and the idea is to use as few sounds as possible to get the message across. In other words, Singapore English is very, very efficient.
Yes, of course. That shouldn't be a problem in the slightest. In fact, I'll be more than happy to do it.
Becomes can. The intonation and sentence structure are influenced by various local dialects of Chinese. Thing is, for most of Singapore's colonial history, English was a minority language that only the elite used, but after independence in 1965, English became an essential bridge. Kids learned standard Singapore English at school, but it's completely normal to speak Singlish, and the average Singaporean sees it as a real part of their identity, so yes, it's very, very relevant.
Great country as well.
Look pon de gayo there.
Now you know what this one is. It is a land where English-speaking...
I'm thinking of Jamaica.
Yeah, same.
Just purely based on the colours of the...
That's another reason. The fingernails.
Yeah.
Now you know what this one is. It is a land where English-speaking pirates once ran riot, and the main port became known as the wealthiest and wickedest city in the world.
Waking up, feel water and waking up. Right through the house, through the bathroom, through every door, kitchen door, every door.
The first people in Jamaica were the Arawaks, who arrived...
That's the best accent in the world, by the way.
I think you're probably right.
That is the best accent.
In canoes from South...
I've got a mate who's from Jamaica. He's like, I think you know what I mean. He's quite famous cricketer. It's probably the most famous cricketer to come out of Jamaica. And he's just 6'6" or something like that. He is, and he speaks real slow.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, Daz, man.
Just when he talks to me, I'm just like,
it's
good.
South America about 2,500 years ago. Next came the Spanish and then the English, and both brought slaves that they'd captured in Africa. Also, 2,000 Irish girls and guys were kidnapped and sent to Jamaica. And
is that why they say like true instead of through? Because Irish like tree.
Yeah, tree. Yeah, and you say one tree. Yeah, could be.
Irish say it like that.
Yeah, it could be.
What came escaping the wars in Ireland? These Irish workers taught English to the Africans, and a pidgin language was born. Meanwhile, a lot of Africans and Arawaks escaped and fled to the mountains where their own language developed. Jamaican Patois. Now, Patois isn't actually considered a dialect of English. It has too many loan words, mostly African. But Jamaicans also speak standard English.
I'm not saying this and saying that because of money, you know. Yeah. It's just because the people need me and they appreciate coming around me, you know. Yeah. So I'm not doing it like Babylon people say, I want to make more money. I'm just expand because the people want the space, so I gotta make the space bigger. That people can come and enjoy themselves, okay?
Jamaican English has quite a bit of American in it these days, but thank goodness, still tons of Patois expressions.
Well, I suppose take out there now, the little sourpuss going after you.
It's not good, boy, no.
Yeah, it's good seeing you, boy. Let's go for a beer sometime now.
Yes, for sure. Looks up in phone book now.
Yes, take care, old man.
Take care, my son.
If you guessed Irish, you're wrong. It was one of the first.
Why would you have said Irish?
No, I definitely wouldn't have said Irish there. I'd have gone Southern American
American again,
yeah.
right? Well, not again, that was Appalachian.
Appalachian, but yeah, like Louisiana. Sort of
like
Alabama,
Texas,
Louisiana.
maybe.
Yeah.
First areas of the New World that Europeans discovered. First came the Vikings in 1000 AD, then fishermen and explorers, and from 1630 on, settlers came with all these language and dialects. And of course, there were indigenous languages too. We're talking about a dialect called Newfoundland English.
We're on a bit of an hiatus from Thor. She's gone back to Alberta for a couple of weeks, and I'm at Abergris with my father for a couple of weeks when my sister's gone away up to Labrador. But now we're going to be back at it again soon, so make sure you get your vax passports like because if you see the shows, you know, have a laugh, buy a few drinks.
Place. Most of the brave early immigrants who stayed were from southwest England and southeast Ireland, and they lived here in isolation for a very long time. The British colony only became part of Canada in 1949, so you weren't imagining it. They really do speak differently from the rest of Canada. Today's Newfoundland.
I never expected that, by the way, that sort of accent up there.
No.
That sounds proper weird.
Newfoundlanders, there we go, have English, Scottish and French in them, but they are mostly of Irish descent. They say the dialect sounds quite 18th century Munster Irish, and there are even a few traces of Irish Gaelic left in the grammar. Pretty interesting, huh? And if you like language stories like this, especially if you're keen on learning a new language yourself, you might find my method of teaching and learning languages really quite fun. See, I use stories to teach languages, and my students all around the world, well, they really like it. If you want to check it out, maybe see if you like the method, take a look in at the link in the description. I've left you something free called the Story Learning Kit. It has a bunch of goodies that show you exactly how to learn languages through stories. Now, after that tongue twister, where exactly were we?
Listen to me. If a guy needs man tell you about yourself, just know. Relax. Don't hyper. When a guy needs man tell you about yourself, dog, just walk away. Just glad. Don't even look at the man too hard. Walk away, dog.
I can't wait.
You would
it's
have
got to
guessed
be another
that.
Caribbean island.
Caribbean, yeah. Or Bahamas. What does Rihanna sound like?
I don't know.
She Barbados or
Barbados. Anyway,
Barbados, yeah.
Barbados. That's how they do say it, so I'm going with Barbados.
What colour's their flag as well? He was
Blue
one
and
was in yellow, one was in black there, wasn't it?
Blue and yellow. It's like blue and it's got like a blue 3 lamp or something in the middle. I don't know, but it's blue and yellow.
But you don't think it's like a West African, like Ghana, Nigeria?
No, that sounded too Caribbean.
Yeah, it did a little bit, didn't it?
Wait to give you this clue. You ready? It's the only English-speaking country on an entire...
We're wrong.
English-speaking country, an entire continent.
Can't be Africa, is it then. South America and it's Haiti or something?
Oh, South America. Haiti's French though, isn't it? Pretty sure Haiti's French. Oh, Belize.
Belize.
I think Belize speak English,
Guyana.
don't they? Yeah.
Because it's a French Guyana and a Guyana.
I think Belize they speak English as well, because my brother moved to Belize, and I think he moved there to find it easy to speak.
I think we go with that.
I think you're right with South America, but I'm pretty sure they speak English in Belize, but I might be wrong.
Continent? What could it be?
Once me put no ring on your finger, me got no reason to be vexed. I could pull aside, we can have a conversation, there be a 3 of us. Ain't got no reason for you being out on a date with someone.
Great accent.
In a relationship.
It's known as the Land of Many Waters, and it's a sovereign state on the north coast of South America that's culturally part of the English Caribbean, and it shares the same legacy with these countries.
Yes, Guyana to the world.
Guyana.
This is Guyana. And
what a guess, man.
a multicultural country it is. Once upon a time in the 17th century, there were 3 Dutch colonies in Guyana, and each had its own Creole version of Dutch, mixed with a West African language called Kalabari. But many different colonial powers have fought over Guyana, so historically they've been exposed to various cultures and languages.
Let me take you back to the gold shot, flying high in the sky. Let the whole world see, let the whole world see, let the whole world see. Green, red, yellow, black and white's a place to be.
the 19th
Bars.
century, it was a British colony called British Guyana. More slaves came from West Africa and Barbados, and the inevitable pidgin language was formed. Mostly English words with sounds and features of African language. There was a little mix-in with the Dutch Creoles, but not much because those were already dying out by that point. Later on, a ton of indentured workers arrived from India, and this brought a completely new language influence. Guyana has been independent now since 1966, but English is still the official language. Locals call their dialect Creolese or Guyanese, and it ranges from standard English to a much broader Creole. As for the indigenous tribes, they were never wiped out here, luckily, and if you wander into the interior, you might even hear these influences.
I guess your brother's still there trying to speak a different language then.
Yeah, he's probably like,
Got
shit,
the
they
wrong
don't
country.
speak English.
Craig Newton. I just put down to Royal Edinburgh College to help get the job. There's too much discrimination in this town, man. Because they're both schools, right? And we're all in this together. And I wanted to put across the general idea rather than the details. Like, people get all hung up on details. Like, what school did I go to? How many O grades did I get? Could be like 6, could be none. It's not important. What is important is that I am, yes?
Here's a dialect.
I think I got every word of that as well. I completely understood it.
It's normal.
I know, right?
With a famous history, the people who've lived here for centuries have ancestors who are Celts, Vikings, and Anglo-Saxons. So where are we now? We are in Glasgow, Scotland.
Can I just ask, first of all, what you were doing there?
I've been through this, right? I was in Maribel, right? I was a starter. I mean, only in Maribel on Saturday, right? But big babies are shouting, the text and all that. It wasn't a text. I was like, you know, what's that?
So you understood every word of that.
Sending the text when he was driving.
You didn't. Well, Glasgow was a port where many desperate immigrants
I'm out with the
arrived
Glaswegians
from
tonight.
Ireland, Eastern Europe, and Italy, and where a lot of Highlanders also happened to come for work, not your everyday combination. Funny story, the Italians were tricked. They thought they were on ships to America, which explains the many ice cream parlours that sprang up. But if the dialect baffles you, don't blame Italian. The Irish and Scots influences are very, very strong. Mind you, Glaswegians do speak incredibly fast and have a lot of Italian surnames.
All right there. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Bloody chilly, innit? Lots of snow everywhere.
I know who that is, so I know where he's from.
Bristol?
Yeah, I think so. He's Joe Sugg, innit? He doesn't have that. He doesn't normally have that strong of an accent. He's kind of putting it on there. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know who he is. Joe Sugg.
Like,
Is he a game?
He used to be a YouTuber and stuff. Made like his stuff on Netflix.
Oh,
you just see him all. He's like on Good Morning every night and stuff like that.
Can you imagine speaking just like you?
But yeah, it's like if it's not Bristol, it's Cornish, but it is Bristol. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Your ancestors did? Well, for hundreds of years, the inhabitants of this island have refused to let go of the old ways. They have a unique way of speaking that's been passed down from the earliest English settlers who came from Cornwall. I'm talking about the Tangier Island in Chesapeake Bay, an estuary off the eastern shore of Virginia. Yes, America.
I knew that. I've seen one we've watched
That was
before.
American?
It was...
That guy that was talking ain't American.
No, I know, but we've said it before about where we saw like Virginia area, that Tangier, was it called Tangier Island or something? Chesapeake Bay, where they speak, and we've said it sounds like Bristol. Yeah. And it's like a common ground with Bristol. They'll probably mention it.
But that guy, Joe Sugg talking, I'm sure it was him.
Yeah. It's Cornish, Bristol.
Mom's been calling and cussing at me all day. She was behind the counter. She said, "It's a lie, Jack." I said, "Who's that, Mum?"
The Tangier dialect has changed a lot over the decades. That's going to happen, but because of its isolation, there was no outside influence, and it became a creation of its own. Way to go, Tangier.
Can I get a French fry hot? I like it for the bean and oil. Okay, can I get the small Trinidadian meal? The Trinidadian meal.
A what?
The baby meal.
Confused?
Baby meal, children's meal.
Yeah, I could understand, but I was laughing back because the person that she was talking to couldn't understand. I could hear him going, "What? Sorry, what did you say?"
This guy will tell you where he's from, so listen up.
Any city can speak like English, any city can yell like English. They say like America is the same thing. So if I go try them out, let's see if they can hear our Kodoba.
Did you get that? This country has more than 20 languages.
Nigeria.
Does Nigeria have 20 languages?
I don't know, but I'm going for Nigeria. He sounded Nigerian to me.
As big as English. They have 4 kinds, in fact. English has been the official language since 1824, and about 3 million people speak it. There's also a Creole that people use as a second language. I am talking about Liberia. Liberia's in West Africa, and it has the fastest growing population in the world.
So today, when you are dressed up fine like me, and you are zooting your gold watch and all the thing, people will look at you and say, "My man, you want to kill Blair? Hey, That's why they say when play see, play run. Because play no one die. You don't want to see anybody dress better than him.
Before the 21st century, they simply called all the dialects English, but nowadays they call them colloquia. So why all the variety?
Do you know a small claim to fame for me with Liberia? You know, when I was in shipping, I used to ship like I used to ship specific things around the world.
There's not going to be something about George Weah, is it?
No, George Taylor.
Who's that?
He was the president of Liberia.
Ah.
Yeah, but he was a bit of a wrong one.
Oh, really?
And I shipped his personal effects when he had to flee the country or whatever it was. Got put in charge of moving his shit.
Varieties. Well, in the 19th century, Liberia had a pidgin English called crew that sailors and migrant workers spoke. They pick it up at sea. But then 16,000 African American immigrants sailed to Liberia, and obviously they couldn't speak the local languages.
If you never ate pancana, you never ate tabagi flour saw, you're not going to understand nothing I'm saying right now.
So their descendants are the ones who
great
speak
accent
Liberian
as well,
settler English, which still has some archaic American expressions. Settler English then influenced colloquia. You still with me here? Well, anyway, later there was a 14-year civil war in Liberia, and believe me, it was a strong motivator to find a common language. One cool thing Liberians do is they speak with suffixes to convey their emotion, good or bad.
They say "oh" after everything. They say "oh" after everything. Like, come let you, my man, where you going, oh? Where are you going, oh? My man, how you feeling, oh?
If you ask me, Liberians sound pretty cool. Truth time. How many did you guess right from the very first clip? Come on, tell me the truth then. How many did you...
Out of 11, probably like 6.
We got a few, didn't we? Did all right between us.
Yeah.
And we were close with Liberia. That was...
It's only 2 countries across. It's only Togo and Ghana in between them, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. But it's, we were close with that one. Because Nigeria is... The country's on there.
Well, when we said Jamaica for Trinidad, that's very similar as well. It's hard to guess.
I said for Trinidad, I said Grenada.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we said Belize for Guyana. You said Guyana.
I said Guyana. Well, I mean, I said the whole of that. I said Haiti, Guyana, French Guyana, Belize.
Yeah, we didn't do bad there. I don't think we did too bad.
No, yeah, it's hard to do that. But I'm like that Bristolian accent. I'm still sure it's Bristol. Yeah, sounds the exact same.
It is the same. Yeah. It's good though. I love channels like that, mate.
Yeah, it's good.
Proper educational, aren't they? Hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments how many you got right.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.